Controversial comments by a now suspended BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma on Prophet Muhammad. Violence and protests are continuing across states like UP, Jharkhand and West Bengal. They continued on Saturday as well with demands that she be arrested. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has called for stringent action against miscreants. He says it should be such that it sets an example for all anti-social elements. So you have bulldozers out in Uttar Pradesh again. They've already been used in Kanpur and Saharanpur to demolish houses of those accused.
The controversy over remarks against Prophet Muhammad by an ex-BJP spokesperson refuses to die down. Protesters clashed with cops for the second straight day in West Bengal's Howrah. The Bengal police issued this appeal on social media saying internet had been suspended in Howrah till Monday morning and gatherings prohibited. 414 kilometers away in Jharkhand's capital Ranchi, there is heavy police presence after Friday's clashes at a prominent intersection that left 2 dead and several injured. According to doctors, 22 people were injured, including 12 policemen. Gatherings have been prohibited across most parts of the city.
हम फिलहाल रांची के मेन रोड इलाके में हैं। ये वही इलाका है जहां पर सबसे ज्यादा हिंसा की वारदात हुई थी। यहीं से प्रोसेशन निकाला गया था। यहां पर आप देखेंगे यहां पर पुलिस थाना भी है और लोगों का कहना है कि प्रशासन तो मुस्तैद था और ये जो गलियां हैं इन गलियों से काफी बड़ी संख्या में लोग आए थे और उन्होंने निकलकर जो है काफी जमकर पथराव किया। क्या आप प्रिपेयर्ड थे?
यस, ऑफ कोर्स हम प्रिपेयर थे। इसीलिए जो बहुत बड़ी घटना घट सकती थी उसको हमने संभाला। ड्रोन कैमरे से मॉनिटरिंग की जा रही थी। देयर आर सम स्टेप्स वी ऑलरेडी टेकन ताकि हम लोग एक बहुत विपद परिस्थिति को संभाल पाएं। अदरवाइज संभव नहीं था आज हम यहाँ खड़े हो पाते हैं।
In Uttar Pradesh, multiple cities saw tension and violence on Friday. Things are now back to normal, but amid heavy security cover. In a statement, the UP police said over 200 people had been arrested across UP so far. In Prayagraj, there were hours of clashes, stone pelting and tear gas in 2 localities. The police claimed the mastermind was a local named Javed Khan, who has now been arrested. He was accused of allegedly orchestrating unrest in the city during the protests against the citizenship law. The police claimed Khan's daughter, who studied in Delhi, was also involved.
और भी सारे मास्टरमाइंड हो सकते हैं, लेकिन अधिकांश लोग बात नहीं माने और नाबालिग बच्चों को आगे करके कुछ खुराफाती अराजक तत्वों ने पुलिस और प्रशासन पे पथराव किया है।
880 kilometers away in West UP's Saharanpur, 50 people have been arrested after violence. The police claim the protests were not spontaneous but pre-planned.
जिस प्रकार से भीड़ निकल के आई है आफ्टर फ्राइडे नमाज, तो निश्चित ही लगता है कि कुछ लोगों ने इसमें प्लानिंग करी थी, जिनको हम लोगों ने आइडेंटिफाई भी किया है।
It must be remembered and emphasized though that in many sensitive areas in UP and elsewhere, the Friday prayers passed off peacefully without any incident of violence. Now what exactly went wrong in Prayagraj and Ranchi? That's a question that needs swift answers from the authorities. With Harivansh Sharma, Ashok Kumar, Nitin Gupta and Alok Pandey, I'm Akshay Dongde for NDTV.
And if we talk about Prayagraj, which saw the worst violence on Friday with stone pelting and the clashes, 64 people have been arrested so far, 4 minors detained. The police say they're taking stringent action against those who take law into their own hands, pelt stones and damage public property. In fact, an eviction notice has been posted outside the home of the main accused, and bulldozer action is expected maybe even today. Javed Muhammad, the leader of the Welfare Party of India and a prominent face during the anti-CA protest, has been named as a key conspirator by the UP police. So to talk more about this bulldozer action that we're seeing in Uttar Pradesh, we're now joined by Sanjay Hegde, advocate Supreme Court, and Ashutosh Srivastav, advocate of the Supreme Court and someone who supports the BJP. Sanjay Hegde, first to you. What are your comments on the kind of action we're seeing in Uttar Pradesh just a few days after the Friday violence and the Friday clashes and protests? Now bulldozers are out and the UP Chief Minister saying that there should be such strict action that nobody dares to do this again.
Well, the UP Chief Minister is entitled to bring back law and order. But the fact is that it has to be according to the law. To the best of my knowledge, there is no provision in law which allows for demolition of somebody's house, or just because somebody happens to be staying in the house, for demolition of that house. It's a different thing altogether supposing there are a breach of municipal violation, building laws or whatever, action under the municipal laws is entirely unconnected. To connect any violations of municipal building laws with any other thing that the accused is alleged to have done simply does not stand to law, logic or reason. What is happening is the doctrine of collective punishment. What is happening is that bulldozers are being sent, saying that we will justify it later if the matter comes to court.
So
there
what
is no provision
recourse
in
do
law.
people have in this situation? Because every time we're told it's justified by the police, saying that this was anyway found to be an illegal construction, so it is in our radar anyway, and now we've just gone ahead and done this.
The recourse is obviously through the legal system, and yes, the legal system will take time. But to say that we had it on our radar is no use. Did you earlier tell the person that, look, this is beyond the municipal laws, rectify it? If after that, did you then give him a notice of demolition? Was that notice of demolition challenged before the appropriate authority? Was it pending in the court anywhere? If these factors were not there, then just going ahead and bulldozing anything anyway is simply outside the pale of the law.
All right. Well, we're also joined by Ali Abbas Kazmi, supports the Samajwadi Party and former UP police inspector. But before we come to you, sir, Ashutosh Srivastav, your comments on this. How can we justify this action?
Obviously, any government has the power to maintain the law and order in the state. And I do agree that the law and order has to be maintained by following the process of law. Now, we know that in UP, there is a UP Gangsters Act. And as per Section 14 of the said Act, the district magistrate has the power to have the seizure of the properties which is believed to be acquired by some gangsters by illegal means. So that can be attached, that can be seized. Now there is UP Municipal Act also of 1959 in which there are provisions for the demolition of illegal constructions. Obviously there are certain rules mentioned and procedures prescribed that needs to be followed, that the notice is required to be served, and accordingly, after the notice period is over, the government can demolish subject to that there is no stay order by any court, and the person who has been sent notice, who has been served notice, has not gone to any court and has not been able to take any stay. So in these kind of cases, the demolition can happen legally. And apart from that, there are other acts also. See, the Gangsters Act has not been made now. It is of 1986. The Municipal Corporation Act of UP is also of 1959. And the National Securities Act also is of 1980. So there are provisions mentioned in all these acts. But yes, I do agree that whatever the procedures which have been prescribed in all these acts needs to be followed. And it is believed that the authorities
this is instant justice. It's like there's no need for courts even. And the minute somebody protests, and in Prayagraj, yes, there was violence, and in Kanpur as well, but immediately punishment meted out in this manner. Ali Abbas Kazmi, your comments on this?
मैम, हम लोग जो है समाजवादी लोग हैं, जो भारत और भारत का जो संविधान है और जो हमें कानून का पालन जो है, हम भारतीय संविधान के जो नियम हैं, जो कानून है इस संदर्भ में, वो उसका फॉलो करना बहुत जरूरी है। देखिए, इस तरह से आग को अगर बुझाएंगे तो कैसे आप जो है आग पे काबू पाएंगे। मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है कि अगर आप आइडेंटिफाई किए बगैर किसी के साथ इतनी बड़ी कार्रवाई कर देंगे तो उसका परिवार, उसका जो है, उसके लायबल्स जो हैं, उनका क्या होगा। एक गलती एक आदमी कर रहा है, उसकी सजा पूरा परिवार झेल रहा है। ये कहाँ का कानून है? ये तो ऐसा है कि जैसे आग से आग को बुझाया जाए। तो इसमें मेरा कहने का यही अभिप्राय है कि जितना भी जो भी सजा भारतीय संविधान में इस तरह के जो है क्रिमिनल्स के लिए है वो उनको मिलनी चाहिए। हम कभी क्रिमिनल्स के अगेंस्ट हम सजा देने के लिए जो है कभी उसके खिलाफ नहीं है, लेकिन उसके लाइबल्स जो हैं, उसके माँ बाप जो हैं, उसके बच्चे हैं, उनका क्या कसूर है?
Right, the whole house is being destroyed, and today in Prayagraj as well, we believe action will be taken against the main accused. Sanjay Hegde, you know, again, do we expect the courts to step in? Because it's very obvious to everyone and those, you know, who are in the legal system that this is patently illegal, this sort of instant justice that's being given out.
Well, the courts,
or instant punishment.
If the courts are petitioned, I would not venture to hazard a guess on what the order would be. But I do expect the courts will ask under what provision of law, when has the notice been given, is this justified, or is this grossly disproportionate? Even the asking of specific questions does put the administration on the right track.
All right, and also Mr. Abbas Kazmi, any expectations that the opposition there in UP will take up this matter?
हमारा कहने का सिर्फ अभिप्राय ये है कि इस तरह की नौबत जो आई है, मस्जिदों में, चंद ही मस्जिदों में जो जुमे की नमाज होती है मैम, और वो भी इस तरह की मस्जिदें हैं जिनसे हर वक्त एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का जो है संपर्क रहता है। अगर इसे टाइमली जो है पेश इमाम या जो वहाँ के काजी थे उनसे अगर पहले से आप जो है वार्ता कर लेते, शांति समिति की बैठकें कर लेते, तो किसी की हिम्मत नहीं थी कि बैड एलिमेंट आके इस तरह से जो है।
लेकिन शायद बहुत जगहों में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन was in touch with those in charge, and it's just in a few places. Frankly, we've seen protests in many cities across India, but it's just in few places that we've seen this violence or, you know, clashes breaking out. And but the question right now is of this instant punishment that is being given by the UP administration, by the UP police. Well, we've run out of time, but thank you all for joining us on the program. And today, as we said, it's expected that the bulldozers will be out in Prayagraj.